What's up guys, JT here. So for my first ever video, I wanted to show you something pretty cool. This is going to be 2 3-star attacks against fairly upgraded Town Hall 10s using GoLavaLoon. This is the first time I've ever attempted GoLavaLoon in war, so I wanted to share that with you and bring you my thought process behind what I was attempting to do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pop into this base. I'm going to show you exactly what I was seeing, what I was trying to do when I attacked this base. So right off the bat with a GoLavaLoon, there are a couple things that you always want to look for. I'm looking for the enemy queen, the enemy clan castle, and at least 1 air defense. If you can take out any other defenses along the way, that's just a bonus. That's going to make your life easier later. But you can see here, queen is right here, not centralized totally. She's next to an Inferno, which is a big deal. She's also next to an Expo, and then, you know, the air defense is a little further north. There's another one over here to the east. But I'm fairly sure with my Go Royal portion of this attack, I can take at least one of those out. So that's the plan. I'm going to drop a couple golems up here to the northeast. I'm going to plow through and see what I can get. And at that point, depending on which one of these air defenses goes down, I'm going to work either in a clockwise or counterclockwise fashion around the base in order to, you know, shoot for that 3-star. So let's dive in and walk through how this went. First thing, 2 golems. I like to go with 2 golems. I'm finding a lot more success with that as opposed to just 1. So the wizards go down behind. The king is already aggro to that queen since she wasn't centralized, so she's already down. The clan castle troops have been pulled. There was a witch in there, so I waited until she hopped the wall before dropping the lightning. Now those are all gone, and it's just tank mode, basically. I'm going to pop the king ability just because he was taking some damage from the Inferno. He gets through the wall. He's going to take out that mortar. He takes out the Inferno. The queen is behind, perfectly safe, full health at this point. She's going to snap that Tesla, and I think the Archer Tower. Meanwhile, the king's working on that clan castle, not doing me much good, but he is tanking the Expo and some other defenses. So at this point, I'm going to pause because you can see the queen still has over half of her health, and she's actually cruising up to the north to go around the outside. So now that everything is down that I needed to go down, I'm going to go ahead and start the attack. I wouldn't normally have done this except that I did see that she was safe and everything down was down that I needed. So I went ahead and started my GoLavaLoon portion with the assumption that it's possible I might be able to save that queen and keep her alive throughout the rest of the attack just for cleanup. Meanwhile, everything else is going to be distracted. So since I did grab that north air defense and took it down, I'm going to start on this eastern side and work my way clockwise around the base. So this part moves pretty fast, so I'm going to zoom out just so you can see what's going on here. So the first lava goes down along with 5 balloons. I'm going to throw the second lava in there as well. Third one's going to go on the bottom. And a couple rage spells. So the first air defense is down. Second one is down. And all the lavas went to the third one over there on the side. Use my last rage spell. And one thing I want you to note is how long in the replay I waited to use that free spell. And that is the hardest thing to do with these attacks, is just to be patient. If you really watch a multi-target Inferno against 5 balloons or fewer, depending on if your lava is still alive, they do damage very slowly. And you know, it feels scary because you see those lines of fire grabbing your balloons. But honestly, they have some health behind them, so wait until you can really benefit absolute most from dropping that freeze. So in this case, I dropped the freeze on both the Inferno and an Expo, so that was, you know, I basically got two defenses down for that. So I'm going to go ahead and restart the play here. The Inferno goes down. There, the Inferno goes down. I still have, what is this, 5 or 6 balloons available. I still have a lava tanking for me with 3/4 health left. And I've got pups, and you see my queen still up here doing her thing, just in cleanup mode. So this didn't go exactly to plan, since I did miss this Tesla and this Expo over here. but you can see I have the lava with so much health left. The balloons aren't even taking damage. They're just chilling behind. So they're going to cruise over and grab the Expo and grab the Tesla, and now we're just in cleanup mode. Ideally, you'd like to see all 4 of your lavas burst when you do a GoLavaLoon, just so those pups can help out. But you know, you can never complain about having one left over at the end. That just means that the attack was very dominant. I'm going to speed up here into double time, and I did have a wizard left over that I just saved for cleanup. And there it is, 3 stars against the number 1. And you know, that just sets the tone for the rest of the war. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the number 2. I'm going to pause it here and show you exactly what I was going for. So this one, believe it or not, this is one of those southern teaser bases that got kind of flipped on its head and modified. I don't tend to love these bases. I find them actually kind of difficult to do a war attack against, but I mean, you can 2-star these bases very easily just with Go Wipe or with you know, Quad GoLavaLoon, etc. 3-starring, super complicated, but you can see it's possible. So the trick to any base that has a weird layout is coming in from an angle that, you know, the defender maybe wouldn't expect. So I can see everything that I want to get is over here on the east side. The Queen, an Inferno, an air defense, an Expo, and all these other ground defenses that would just otherwise waste my air attack's time. So we're going to try to grab those. One benefit to this base is that it doesn't have a lot of garbage buildings on the outside. I'm telling you guys, I hate garbage buildings when I'm doing these attacks, just because it requires me to bring a bunch of wizards to clear the path. I was very fortunate this time that I just had a dark barracks and a couple of army camps, which are super low level health buildings. So what I'm going to do, or what I'm going to attempt here, is I'm going to drop one golem a little bit further to the northeast and one a little bit more southern. But I still want everybody to kind of gather around this area near the cannon. That's just because it's the most central path, the most direct route to that air defense, to the Inferno, to the Expo, and to the Queen. What you got to keep in mind with these is that that may not look like the most direct path to the Queen, but she's got a really large radius. So you don't always have to go directly for her. She's going to come out to you a lot of the time. If you know, if I was not fairly seasoned with this attack, I probably would have tried to start down here. Couple of, you know, a lot of defenses. There's another air defense, and then I would have just hoped that the Queen kind of came down and met me. But I really like getting those Infernos when I can. So we're going to start over here, and let's watch how this goes. So there goes my 2 golems. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do, meeting at that corner. So now I'm dropping the wizard just to clear the path, so my royals don't get distracted. So one key element here is that I did bring a jump spell as opposed to that 3rd rage, and that's because I'm telling you, I really wanted that Inferno if I could get it. And since this defender had all these chambers, I kind of had a feeling that my attack was going to get a little bit out of control if I didn't guide those heroes directly where I wanted them to go. So I did bring the jump spell. Everybody's in where I want them to go, and you notice the golem's kind of split here. That's good, because that means I have 2 walls of defense on either side of my royals. So the clan castle troops are coming out. Another witch. I should have waited just a second longer to get that witch, but I think my lightning did its job and got her. So this is a little bit hard to see, but the Expo goes down. My golems are still tanking. My Queen just took out one of the air defenses. That's great. So my King is there in the center. I hope he just went down. I think he fell to a Tesla. But what's really nice about this attack is that, you know, it gets lost in the shuffle sometimes, but your golems do damage. Look, that golem, he basically did splash damage to that Inferno, and now it's down just using the golemites. Now my Queen is down here by herself, but she took out that whole chamber by herself basically, and that wizard tower. So I'm going to pause at this point before we get too far into the GoLavaLoon portion, and The goal here was to go in a counterclockwise pattern, starting at the north, the west, and then finishing up down at the south. So I can guess that there's another Tesla there. That could be problematic. I tend to find these very difficult, these air attacks difficult when you surround the town hall with Teslas. It just seems like my balloons never make it through there. But let's see how it goes. Oops. There we go. So I dropped the rage. I've got all three lavas on that first one. 2 of them have busted. I still have 1 left. So all my balloons there. Now I'm gonna freeze the Air Defense Inferno and Expo. That's big because, man, I tell ya, being able to freeze 3 really heavy defense buildings is just a great advantage to the attacker. So I did save some balloons for that bottom, and I'm sorry, I did drop my 4th lava there at the bottom. All those defenses are cleaned up. So now I'm just working through the middle, trying to get those Teslas. My last lava just burst, but I've still got 6 or 7 balloons left. A bunch of pups. I get that Expo. Look now, all I have left is that 1 archer tower, and he can shoot me as much as he wants. It's not going to end well for him. There's just too many balloons left, too many pups, and we're just in cleanup mode. There he goes, and now I'll speed up, and we'll watch the rest. One thing you got to worry about with these attacks is the time. I think this attack, I only had maybe 2 or 3 seconds left on the clock, and I was fortunate that there at the end, the balloons and the pups split off and went off in different directions. Otherwise, this would have been a really devastating 2-star. But, you know, sometimes you get lucky and it works out in your favor. So guys, I hope this was helpful to you, just seeing some of the insight into how a GoLavaLoon attack comes together. The biggest thing that you have going for you is the level on your heroes. I can't stress enough, you really need high-level heroes to get this done. But man, once you're up in the 20, 30, 40 range for your heroes, good things are going to start happening for you with these. And another thing is that you can apply this same concept to the Town Hall 9 level. I'm hoping to bring you some future videos on a GoLavaLoon attack at Town Hall 9. So stay tuned for those. Until next time, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out bfc-elite.com for tips, tricks, strategies, and more.